Tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's a special prime-time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
They left in the middle of a cold night in 1984, but the Colts are back, and we're underway in Baltimore.
On the return, Devin Duvernay. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Jackson from the shotgun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Throwing on first is Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time, but it'll be 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. 74 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
1st and goal from the 3. Taylor going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
I know he might be a little winded after that previous long run, but now you're in goal-to-goal situation. That changes what you do defensively, and it worked for them on that play.
Maybe trying to reward him after that long run. We'll see if they go back to him again on the ground. They hand off to their big tight end, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jack Doyle. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Colts are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Point after try forthcoming. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return is Duvernay. And able to get this out to the 25. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Open man is Duvernay. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee?
Can't do that.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. To throw is Jackson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Wentz now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And that is incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from the defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10.
it's Jackson. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is caught. It's a big play there for Baltimore. A good grab by the Clemson native there, Sammy Watkins, Charles.
And he doesn't have every measurable that you look for in a receiver, but you can't deny the production. I mean, this guy knows how to get the football. He knows how to make tough catches no matter how tightly covered.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
He kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
On 2nd and goal, here's the option.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal.
Dobbins. And Dobbins, he is not going to get there. They stop him short of the line to gain.
Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
Patrick Ricard
taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. And I guess that's where you turn on 4th and goal to your muscle back there. Hand him the football. He does the dirty work.
I think you're asking a lot of your defense there, right? Having to make the stand, have to prepare for just about any type of play to be called. And then here comes the power right at you. And that play, the big man got into the end zone.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
On first down, Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
Not sure much more could have been done there defensively. One up with him, tried to knock it away, tried to get an arm in, unsuccessfully.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
To throw is Wentz. Left side, Doyle with it. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Wentz now on first down. Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Now Wentz again. They're going right back to Pittman.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Wentz going to give this to Taylor. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Throwing is Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction Make sure you get your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Blankenship's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return is Duvernay. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Ravens ready to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Thus far, they haven't been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. He's in a zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for, but he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's a 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. From the 38, Wentz. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time. And it's 3rd and 4.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, it's Wentz. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Rolling to his right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Six yards left on 2nd down. Jackson going to run again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The run hasn't worked the last couple of plays. Now it's 3rd and 14. Jackson now. They'll roll him out right. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. Not only does he not have a catch,
You've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. Justin Matabike there to bring him down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Wentz will give to Taylor on the draw. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 3 yards won't be enough here as I'll bring up 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff for Dobbins. Powerful running. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. On 2nd down, there's the option going left. 1st down and more for Jackson. And all the way in for a Raven touchdown. It's a scintillating run by Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens have retaken the lead. Well, we've certainly seen this before, CD. No one can quite electrify a crowd like Lamar Jackson, and really don't know what else to say other than that was special right there.
I think you pretty much said it all, but I go back to what you said about electrifying a crowd. He's also electrifying us, and we're calling the game. This guy's simply sensational.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now Jonathan Taylor and the Colts offense retakes center stage. He's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start.
And a throw for Pittman is intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
On first down, Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They go play action with Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And here's Jackson on the option. And the tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 2nd and 7, Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool him.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Justin Madubuike
able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
And when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
On third down, here's Taylor.
They find some open field here. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. First and 10. Here's Wentz.
He'll drop this down to Taylor.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be a second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. From just shy of midfield, Wentz. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. So we're at half. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3.
Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Well, the Colts ready to go to work to start the third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 119 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz, he's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And Pascal's got it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Taylor. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. And this is going to be incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
And the Colts are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, his arm strength never an issue, but this one winds up in the wrong hands.
Oh, the coverage here is just terrific because when it's done really well, sometimes you can't distinguish whether it's the receiver or the defensive back the ball's intended for. He actually ran with him in perfect motion and able to make a big-time play.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Now Wentz fighting Hilton on the slant. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And that is incomplete.
We're to the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. This is taken at the 18. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Jackson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Oh, Pascal able to haul that one in. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 131 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From midfield, here's Wentz. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a give to Taylor. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. They'll run with Taylor. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Back now in Baltimore. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On the handoff, Taylor. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Draw play. This is Hines. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
The Colts on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Wentz. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Mo Alley-Cox there to make the grab. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. The return is Duvernay. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Come on, guys, let's go.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. Tyquan Lewis, he read that the whole way and made the tackle. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion. And I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 16. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Dancing away at the 35. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 172 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. He continues to have a big night here under the lights carrying the football.
And some guys prefer night games. For whatever reason, their bodies react a certain way. They love the spotlight. Maybe that's what it is. The best seats in the house, the ones where he's carrying the football for his offensive teammates. The worst seats, the 11 guys trying to tackle him on defense.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Throwing on first is Wentz. This goes out right to Doyle. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Well, you hate that defensively. They had him pretty well corralled, but the face mask, that obviously changes things.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating because you feel like you did everything right. You had him stop, but the hand gets up just a little too high, and the natural inclination is to hold on, and that's going to get called every time.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10.
Wentz going to give this to Taylor.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Now Wentz. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Colts have broken our tie as they take the lead.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the fourth quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The fourth quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And they will take a 7-point lead. Sanchez now. He'll kick it away following the touchdown. On the return is Duvernay. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Jackson running again. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He's going deep for Brown. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Here's Jackson to throw. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Carson Wentz and the Colt offense ready to go back to work. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wentz, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Tyus Bowser in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. On a strip, the ball comes out, and this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Indy set to go on offense once more. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Wentz. That's complete to the running back, Nyheim Hines. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the fourth quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. They run once more with Taylor. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, the defense certainly did its job. They held up in that situation. And now on 4th down, you've got to punt this and try to get to overtime. There's no decision to be made in my estimation.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. Jackson. This will be caught once again by Brown.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. He'll get it to the 40. He broke a tackle there, but couldn't get much further. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. Second and 6. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Jackson going to look to run with it. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. And we've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. We'll have overtime. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw here pulled in by Hilton. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, good start for him under center here in overtime. Now 3 of 3.
And this is where you have to know who you have playing quarterback. You've got a confident thrower right now, someone who's taking care of the ball, but not being timid as well, and is moving the team downfield. That opens up your playbook and allows you to dial up some big shots if you want them.
On first down, Wentz. He's got Jack Doyle. And he's got this down to the 35.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running left, Taylor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Here's Wentz to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.